Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, a classical reborn, released in 1988. Dragon Quest III enjoyed incredible success in Japan. On release day, mile-long queues from outside stores, NES cartridges were stolen from shelves, and hundreds of thousands of students skipped school. This phenomenon led Square Enix to release all subsequent entries in the series on weekends rather than weekdays. Even Dragon Quest VI was released on Saturday. It's no surprise that Square Enix decided to remake the third installment using the HD 2D style that won many hearts with Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy. Dragon Quest III has aged remarkably well, and the HD 2D remake enhances it is Excel's edition that makes it even better. A classical tale in a new light. As always is the series you play as the hero, whose name you choose at the beginning. You are the son or daughter of the legendary warrior Ortega, who died years ago attempting to defeat the demon dragon Barmos, who terrorized the world. When the hero turns 16, they follow in their father's footsteps to defeat Paramus. The story is standard fare. Don't expect anything extraordinary, as the plot remains the game's weakest element. Although the remake adds scenes featuring Ortega that better develop his character, the narrative isn't significantly improved. What's more important is setting. The hero embarks in a journey across a world with regions inspired by real countries. Some people speak with Spanish accent, others substitute English words with Italian ones, and there's the Japan region with cherry blossoms and pagodas. This creates a wonderful atmosphere of an epic adventure, which is why many fell in love with the Dragon Quest III in the first place. In the remake, the environments look especially magic. To do character spirits move through residential 3D locations, towns feel more alive. The world map is no longer littered with identical mountains and trees, and in dark caves, torches and lanterns cast realistic shadows as hero pass by. Gameplay. The Remarkable doesn't fundamentally change the gameplay. Dragon Quest III Foundation remains intact, but receives several interesting adaptations. Most importantly, the expanded map is more interesting to explore. It's now scattered with sparkles that provide not only useful consumables like potions but also equipment, sometimes of higher quality than what you church are wearing. Science is an old school JRPG, there's plenty of grinding, but now you don't need to simply run in circles waiting for random encounters. You can walk around the map looking for sparkles while fighting monsters along the way. The essence remains similar, but the process is more enjoyable. There are plenty of other conveniences. For example, you no longer need to talk to every NPC hoping to figure out what ways to go next. Before starting, you are offered the option to enable map markers, which can be turned off if you prefer. Also, it no matters which side of town you enter from the world map. If you remember that a shop is in a northern part of the town, you can enter from the top and avoid running through streets as necessary. It's also great to see mini-maps in every area, including dungeons where they weren't available before. All these changes successfully modernize the game. You won't think this is remarkable of a JRPG approaching its 40th anniversary. Combat, old school with modern touches. The age of the game is perhaps most evident in how battles with monsters are presented. Combat is turn-based. At the beginning of each turn, you see an entire party and can issue commands to the hero and companions. But once all commands are given, the camera switches to show only the opponents. You don't see your fighter's animation, only the fireballs and other spells they cast. If you play the Dragon Quest Definitive Edition with its optional 2D mode, this works familiarly. Battles have undergone changes too. with the most important being the ability to triple the animation speed. For a game that requires speed grinding, this is essential. You can also simplify gameplay by selecting an easy difficulty level, changeable in its settings as the time was outside of the battle. However, I didn't find the game is too difficult, especially is the remake where a character now recover health and mana when leveling up, and you can equip 2 accessories instead of 1 to boost stats. Although you fight frequently, battles don't become too tedious thanks to the auto battle option. You can control each party member manually, but this extends playtime significantly. Auto battle can configure the beginning of each turn. For example, you can ask companions to protect the hero, prevent them from spending mana, or focus on healing each other instead of damaging enemies. These are 6 options that you will mainly use during the boss fights. The AI is quite intelligent, sometimes performing better than a player trying to do everything manually. However, its tendency to use a multi-target spell against single enemies remains puzzling. Overall, battle remains engaging. However, at some point you will inevitably lose track and allow a team member to die, most often the healer. In the original game, the only solution in the early levels was to return to the nearest town and visit to the church to resurrect them. In the remake, you will likely quickly learn the Zin spell, which brings companion back to life. It's not as effective as the later Zin spell, which guarantees success. With Zin, there's a chance of failure. Therefore, it's best not to waste time on it during battle, but resurrect fallen aliens in a calm environment. If you still want to return to the town, it's now easier. The necessary item, Chimera Rings, can be used anywhere, even in dungeons. Another more notable addition is the ability to tame monsters occasionally and encounter it while exploring the world. Not all of them as a Shin Megami Tensei, but especially ones hidden in the location identical for all players. There are over hundreds of them, and with their help you can participate in monster battle in special arenas. To make timings easier, you can choose a new profession for your character, Monster Wrangler. With this class, you can both heal your team and deal significant damage to your opponents, and the more monsters you catch, the more abilities becomes available. This is only a new class in the game, but it's worth noting that various and martial artists have changed in the remake. They now have not only regular attacks but also combat skills. Other changes are less noticeable but still worth mentioning. Companions can be fully customized, both the appearance and names. New monsters and bosses have been added, and old ones have gained access to abilities they didn't have before. Characters now have a defense stat, making it easier to track this parameter, and items and accessories that increase it have been added. Finally, the soundtrack has been completely rewritten and sounds fantastic, especially the serious theme. The game had previously been released on mobile devices, with partial changes, but this remake represents a much more extensive overhaul. If we imagine that this is not remake but a completely new game, which it will be for the most gamers, then the description I gave in my Dragon Quest review applies perfectly. A textbook JRPG, both then and now. The series doesn't try to turn the genre upside down. Dragon Quest allows for its adventure atmosphere, and the third installment conveys it wonderfully. The Remake's creator understood that atmosphere needed the most attention, which is why the locations are attractive, but your voice acting includes different accents, and exploring the world is much more interesting than in the original. Dragon Quest III Remake is magnificent, but both the game itself remains a wonderful JRPG and the HD to HD style suits it perfectly. The numerous improvements and changes haven't been the project too simple, but have modernized it. Markers, minimaps, accelerated battles, and other innovations have turned this legendary classic into a casual game. And the new content, including partly voice dialogues, gives long-time fans of the series a reason to replay the story. An excellent remake and a great way to pass the time while waiting for the next Dragon Quest. It has to come out sometime. So to sum up, Pros is a classical JRPG in HD to HD wrapping. This visual style suits it perfectly. Adventure atmosphere in regions unlike each other. expanded maps that more interesting to explore thanks to the scattered items, smart AI for companions in auto battle mode, ability to speed up battles making screening less tedious, numerous gameplay improvements compared to the original, and cons is a very simple main plot that only slightly improves with additional of episode about the protagonist's father. As an old school JRPG, greening is periodically necessary. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.